What's up, guys, and welcome to another video of DevTalks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering technology-wise. And in this video, apparently Intel CEO is being demanded to stand down. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's dive right in.
Let's get the latest on trade this morning. The president did announce 100% tariffs on chips unless companies build in the United States. A number of chip names moving higher on the exemptions part of that news. But Intel is sitting this one out after the president called for the company's CEO, Lip-Bu Tan, to resign, calling him, quote, highly conflicted. That comes after Republican Senator Tom Cotton questioned his ties to China. Let's bring in Megan Casella from Washington with the latest. Morning, Megan.
Hey, good morning, Carl. That's right. A lot for the chip sector to navigate this morning. But first, let's start with Intel. Here was the president's exact wording on the Intel CEO. He said, the CEO of Intel is highly conflicted and must resign immediately. There is no other solution to this problem. So some harsh words there from the president. We have not yet heard from Intel publicly commenting on this one. But as you said, it does come after Senator Tom Cotton, an Arkansas Republican, claimed that the Intel CEO controlled dozens, he says, of Chinese companies, including 8 that he says had ties to the Chinese People Liberation Army. So much more to watch there with the president pressuring this CEO. Obviously, you see the shares under pressure this morning, and also coming at the same time as that other big chip story. And as you mentioned, the exemptions part of this is going to be the key here. So take a listen to exactly what the president said last night.
We'll be putting a tariff on of approximately 100% on chips and semiconductors. But if you're building in the United States of America, there's no charge, even though you're building and you're not producing yet in terms of the big numbers of jobs and all of the things that you're building. If you're building, there will be no charge.
So he went on to say that even the intent to build could possibly shield a company from these tariffs. And the list of companies intending to build in the U.S. now is really long, especially after that CHIPS Act rollout under the Biden administration last year. NVIDIA, TSMC, even ASML, Global Foundries, all of these companies have these intentions or plans to build at various degrees of being underway or not. All of them potentially then shielded from the impact of what would be a very significant tariff. Guys, one major caveat I would say to flag here is that
So when a lot of people look at this, right, there's a few ways to actually look at this. One, the first thing I want to talk about is Intel, right? I covered Intel a few times on this channel, and if you guys don't know, before the CEO came over to Intel was struggling. They were failing so bad and miserable. Everybody else's companies were doing so much better. You can tell by looking at the stock prices here as well too. Intel just isn't what it used to be originally. They were struggling a lot. They did a ton, and when I say a ton, they did a ton of layoffs. It's not even funny the amount of layoffs that they did. Like, they were laying off people left, right, and center, and back and forth. It's not even funny how many they gone through a lot of layoffs. They weren't producing, they weren't selling. So I did a video back then whenever this new CEO came into power, and he was supposed to do all this new stuff and yada, yada, yada. It's on the channel somewhere in the past. You guys can find it in the playlist that's in the description down below, probably from last year. But there's a lot of videos to go through. But the overall premise of this, like, he was supposed to make change and do stuff differently and everything else. And my first question is, why not do what these... It seems like one problem is Intel controls a lot of Chinese equity and has a lot of Chinese control a part of it, and they're doing business in the US, so they're skeptical about it for sure. And I think anybody would be if you were in charge of your country and you see this happening to a scale, especially when we're moving to be more self-reliant, I believe, at this exact moment. But why not do what every other major company that's producing and doing better than you and do it, and then find ways to do it better than them? See, when he put this thing about the intent, right, where the intent is overall better, or you can have, as long as you have an intent, you don't have to pay any tariffs on your business and everything like that. That is just to incentivize them to invest into the U.S. so the U.S. can be more self-reliant, and that they don't have to deal with all this tariff BS and raise no prices in the technology market, so that they can stay safe and okay. There's one problem with that. Some companies and some of the big companies, they've already invested the money in it. They're starting manufacturing and stuff like that. I'm curious on how it's going to be because all these investments are within 4 years, which is in Trump's term. So I'm really curious on when these factories are fully operational, how this is going to look at. And if you guys stick with me at the end of that, we will go through all of these factories and see how they are running. Is it running as intended? Did this all go according to plan? Or just what happened exactly, because we just don't know until they're all operational. The second thing is a company can sit here and lie and say, yeah, we gonna build some. We just and just keep pushing it back. Yeah, our CEO, our board is really like trying to decide on a location and keep pushing it back and back and back and back and back to try to take advantage of this. Even if Intel, even if Intel wanted to do such a thing, as in like just keep pushing it back, why didn't they at least do that? Um, but like as I said, who knows? I if they started like buying into China a lot more when this new CEO came out, is Intel CEO even Chinese? I forget what he is. I think he is Asian. Um, he is Asian. Li Putan. I think he is Chinese. No, he's Singaporean. I think he went to University of Singapore. It says Malaysia. I knew he was Asian. It says his nationality is American. Actually, I knew he was Asian though. Um, but if Intel did go out there and start, dealing with China in a lot of different ways and things like that, and nobody knew and they just found out, I can see how they're stressing about that as well too, and they want him replaced as well. If Intel loses another CEO in the last 2 years, that would be insane. But the best thing for them is not to say anything. Actually, once when you give out statements and things, I don't understand it. When people get accused of stuff, people are gonna forget. You give it a month and you didn't say anything in that month, people forget because something else is gonna happen that people are gonna be all riled up about and not even worry about you anymore. But we are here, and I'm gonna remember, and because I'm doing videos on it. So if the CEO does end up resigning, we will get a video on that. I will do a video on that and get more information. But let's see if she has anything else good to say, and then we'll wrap this up.
That the statute being used in question here doesn't allow for company-specific exemptions. So there's not a way that the administration could easily say 100% tariffs for everybody except for example, Taiwan Semi. They can't do it that way. What they would have to do is find a way to very narrowly target specific products and maybe go chip by chip to find a way to exempt specific companies' chips themselves. So there's going to be a lot of creativity, I would say, here, and a lot of reason to watch the wording of this as we get it potentially as soon as later this month, guys.
Well, Megan, looking at the performance of Apple stock over the last 2 days.
Yeah, we're not here for Apple. We talked enough about Apple recently, but yeah, actually, that's a thing that I actually didn't know is about when these tariffs happen. It's by a specific product, and you can't charge specific companies. So basically, how that's going to work is like, say, NVIDIA has like an H2 or H3 chip or something like that. It will come in as a product under the certain product name and everything, and normally it has a category. It's categorized probably, and they will exempt that specific product that's coming in and out. Versus if Intel has a chip called this whatever name, they're going to tariff that specific product extremely more rather than the other company, which may take so much more work because you have to actually have a lot of product knowledge on the companies and what products they sell and have people to go through that and all the time that it's going to take to go through all of that. So that is going to take a lot of creativity in my own opinion as well too. So without further ado, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'm really interested in what you guys may have a take on this actually. So just let me know in the comments. Like I said, I'm really curious. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate everybody who does. Thank you so much to everybody who does. And also, if you have any suggestions, send me an email at devtalkspod@gmail.com. Without further ado, peace. See y'all next time.